the second final round appearance for Delco. He's been driving for 3.5 years since he moved into Pro Stock to win one of these events. This is best ride ever. As always, the starting line reaction time could be critical. It is nearly identical for both drivers. But look at Kenny Delco fly. 7:28. He found his 10th and a whole lot more. 189 miles an hour. Delco wins his first ever NHRA Winston National Event title. Great reaction times by both drivers. Just a couple of thousandths of a second separated them. As we look again, you can see how Delco pulled ahead by the 8-mile point and was pulling away steadily as he neared the finish line and took the championship in Pro Stock Eliminator. Steve?
Whoa. What a pleasure it is to meet a newcomer to the winner's circle.
Oh, thank you. I got to thank Paul Rabeshi, Bob Cave, Ronnie Caprasol, all the people that helped me, my wife, Kathy, and the 3 kids. Everybody what made me come here.
Tell me about the race. You left the line together.
I let go of the clutch. The thing stood up in the air. Didn't shake the tires when I pulled the second. I said, there's no way he's going to go by me.
7:28. No, I don't think so.
Beautiful. Hey, Ricky. Good race. How fast you go?
Good race.
Oh, boy.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. I'm glad it's one. I'm the newcomer that's going to win. I lost that one last year.
Yep. There'll be more to come for this man. The way he's running, you can bet on it. Kenny Delco, first time he's ever won an NHRA National Championship event.
Now, Darrell Alderman in the Dodge in the far lane has outmuscled one competitor today and outdriven 2 others. Mark Powick has outperformed everybody he has raced.
But the cars come to the line in this final confrontation dead even. Both the performance of the cars and the drivers has been flawless for the entire afternoon of racing.
The big question is, can Mark Powick win his first ever national event? He holds the national record, but is winless. Alderman outperforms Powick off the mark. Powick charges. Not enough. Darrell Alderman, 7:32, defeats Powick, 7:31. Don Garlitz is at the starting line with the winning crew chief, David Hutchins.
I've never seen such phenomenal lights. He got some starting line advantage, didn't he?
He's just been doing excellent all weekend. He's brought us through this race.
And he did it by hole-shotting both Bob Glidden and Mark Powick.
In the replay, we watched 2 evenly matched cars, but Darrell Alderman takes a 400th of a second starting line advantage over Mark Powick, but only gives up 100th of a second in the performance of his car. The net gain is vividly demonstrated by the margin of victory for Darrell Alderman's Dodge.
Alderman's first Pro Stock title this year.
I said it before, but I've never seen you this loose. I'll say it again. What have you done mentally to tune up?
Well, when your car's running good, it seems like you're looser and you do better, you know. And Mopar Performance Dodge really done good this weekend, and I just can't say enough about Wayne County. And that's it. I'm just excited. I don't know what else to say.
I can't say enough about your driving.
Well, thank you a lot. I really appreciate that.
They've done it. The only Dodge in the sport has won another Pro Stock race.
One of these days, honest.
Good.
Sal Rivera in the round before cut a perfect light against his competition. Bob Glidden has had 2 racers red light against him today. He puts that kind of fear in them. They feel they have to go out and take a chance. Gordy Rivera, though, has the power down Garlitz. I don't think he needs to do that.
I think he's going to cut a good light, but I don't believe that Bob Glidden is going to cut him any slack either.
Oh, in fact, it's Glidden and Rivera leading exactly together. But it's Bob Glidden arriving there first. Son Billy liked that one. A 7:36, their first win of the new season. 7:41 for the losing Gordy Rivera. Let's go to Don.
Well, you know, how many does that make?
I think that makes 77.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, and that was a tough one. You've got to understand that the competition is really tough out here, and Gordy is an excellent driver, and I've got to give him all my best for making it to the finals. He's an excellent person. All of our competitors really are.
Well, that Pro Stock is really a competitive class.
It's really tough. Yes, it is.
Well, we enjoy it.
Yes, we enjoy it, and as long as we enjoy it, we'll keep doing it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
So Bob Glidden takes the win, but Gordy Rivera has nothing to apologize for.
One of the most exciting starts that I've seen in pro stock in a long time. Both cars cut an identical reaction time, which makes the race just perfect from the start. But as we move down track, the Glidden motor begins to produce just a little bit more horsepower, and that moves the car completely ahead of Gordy Rivera.
So Bob Glidden takes the win here in Phoenix.
Bob Glidden has now won 5 out of the 6 NHRA national events held here at Firebird, but this one was a toughie.
Thank goodness for Phoenix being early in the season, Steve. We needed this after last week, the disastrous mess we went through at Pomona. You know, Gordy, get over here, little man. Got to get this short guy in here. He gets all...
Little man with big skills.
He gets all upset when you call him short man. Hey, this guy did a great job. You know, got to give him credit.
And you knew that you couldn't let him do to you what he did to Bruce Allen.
Hey, you can't tell what this guy's going to do. He's pretty tough on all of us. He does a good job. But, you know, it was just our day, Steve. We came out Friday in the first run. We went a 28 with a 0. You know, what can you say? The old probed him today.
And you showed tremendous promise for the rest of the season, Gordy. You and Grumpy Jenkins together.
Thank you. I'm just happy to be here with everybody.
Happy to have you both down here.
Appreciate it. Hey, nice.
And what a pro stock final. Performance and words. Warren Johnson says, heck, anybody can leave as good as Ricky Smith. And Morgan says, well, I can't outrun Johnson. I'll just leave him tied to a stump on the starting line. We have heard both these drivers kind of throw the gauntlet. There is Morgan in the Oldsmobile owned by Bob Finella. There is Warren Johnson. He operates his own team out of Duluth, Georgia. This is the final round. It is Larry Morgan away first, the way he said it would be. And Johnson cannot catch him. Larry Morgan has won with a slower elapsed time, 7:77 to a losing 7:74. Quote Larry Morgan, I'll just have to make it up on the tree.
And make it up on the tree he did. 2 drivers, practically equal matched cars, both of them bragging they were going to get the advantage, but Larry Morgan, when the chips were down, took the advantage. Now, generally, Warren can make up enough power down course and drive around these cars. We've seen him do it several times, but Morgan was ready for it. He wasn't going to give him an edge. There he comes. Very close, but close only counts in horseshoes, and Morgan takes the win very handily over Warren Johnson.
You said you'd do it on the tree, and you did.
Wow. Thank God. I knew I was going for it. I knew that the lane was bad. Thank God we got down the lane good. Woo!
5/100ths was your whole shot. 7:77 for you, a quicker 74 for Warren Johnson.
Wow, that's good. We're really pleased with that. And man, I couldn't be any happier, Steve. I have to thank Castro, Bob Finella, Oldsmobile, Jim Oliver, Andy Magnuson, Gary Pearman, Tom Roberts, my wife, kid.
Thank
everybody.
Thank yourself, because without your reaction time, we wouldn't be talking.
Well, I'll tell you, I was trying awful hard, and let me tell you something. I come out here to win 3 races. That's what I want to do.
Boy, he wasn't boasting in the semifinals. He did it.
Mark Powick in that kind of a purplish Oldsmobile, purple and silver, and of course the beautiful green and white machine of Larry Morgan. And Big Daddy, you gotta like the power of Morgan and the starting line tactics of Powick here.
It just about evens them out, and the whole situation is going to be, is Larry Morgan going to be too conservative on the starting line, hoping that his power will overtake Powick, or is Powick going to leave too early in red light? It's anybody's guess.
And the RPMs start to come up. They're ready. Powick away first, but not by much. Morgan just about next wheels with him. It is Larry Morgan for the 3rd NHRA race in a row. 7:39, 187.14 to Mark Powick's losing, but game 7:45.
Beautiful start by Mark Powick. He takes a starting line advantage, and it looks like he's going to do all right. But the powerful engine of Larry Morgan begins to make up the ground as we start down through the middle of the course. And as they get to the halfway mark, Morgan has already begun to gather up that little lead that Powick had. And by the time they get to the finish line, it's all over.
3 in a row.
for Larry Morgan?
You know, when you give a guy a hammer, what's he supposed to do? Use it.
When you use it on Mark Powick.
Let me tell you, buddy, I am happy. Thank God.
You're always happy.
I'm always happy. Thank God for Castro. Yeah, I have to really thank Castro, Bob Pinella, my engine builder, Jim Oliver, head porter, Andy Magnuson, my wife, my boy, Pinella, Gary Pearman, Tom Roberts, all the guys here that helped me. Oldsmobile.
Something else has happened here. You have moved into the Winston Points lead.
Have I really? That's great. I'm really happy.
Mark Powick is not quite as happy, but glad to be in the final round.
I'm sure happy to be in the final with him.
It's nice to bring
You got a hole shot on him, but not enough.
I'm trying, Steve. One of these days, we're going to win one of these real soon.
No question about that.
Thank you, Steve.
Here is the final intro stock eliminator. Mark Powick in the near lane, the Ford in the far lane, the classic battle between mates. Here it is an Oldsmobile against a Ford, both limited to 500 cubic inches maximum, running on racing gasoline. Using the Lenco type transmission, the cars with drivers on board matched at 2,350 pounds each. Powick, the last to stage. Start for both cars. And Clinton goes into the winner's circle. Rusty and Billy with the high five. We haven't seen that since his last victory at the Arizona Nationals at Phoenix back in February of this year. Bob Clinton powering past a hole shot by Mark Powick, driving away as he has done all day from his competitor. Clinton in the Ford Chrome, regaining the championship form that carried him to 10 Winston titles. In replay, you can see Powick trying to pull back on Clinton, but unable to do so. Steve's with the champion.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that he's won over 75 national events. When you've been a little cool, it's nice to get hot again.
Well, I'll tell you, Steve, what a great win. What a great win. Come here, Mark. You know, it's incredible. I don't know how many we've won, but this is the first one we've won for a long, long time. Nice race.
Nice race. You're going to win one someday.
Honest, Steve, you know, it's our third final this year. One of these days, it's got to happen, man. You know, I couldn't lose to a better guy. Bob's really been struggling this year, and I'm glad to see him coming back. I just wish it was me this time around.
He had you by just a couple of hundredths off the mark, but you had the muscle.
I knew he'd be on time. We've been running a little bit better than him. I've been driving horrible all weekend, but, you know, we just got the brakes here. We got the good luck that we needed to win.
Congratulations to Bob Glidden. Condolences to Mark Powick again.
Just for the record, this is Bob Glidden's 78th career victory.
But they knew they had to change something. Larry Morgan was coming into this round with a 7:31. And Ekman had run a 7:46 in the previous round. He had to do something.
Larry Morgan, the defending U.S. Nationals champion, trying to make it 2 in a row. It is Ekman. Jerry Ekman has stunned this crowd. 7:35 for both drivers. Car owner Bill Orndorff in the black hat has gone crazy. And why not? It's the first U.S. Nationals victory for owner and driver.
It's not often that you reach down into the bag of tricks and pull out a winner at the U.S. Nationals, and that's just what they did. The crew installed a different engine, matched the performance of Larry Morgan, and the driver, Jerry Ekman, did his job on the starting line, and that tells the story.
Here again, graphically displayed, is the importance of a good start. Morgan's ET was 1,000ths quicker, yet Jerry Ekman was the winner, and he's with Steve.
You took a gamble. You took the motor out. There was nothing wrong with it, and you tried another engine.
Right. I certainly did. It was quite a gamble because we'd been having problems earlier in the round, and we just didn't know, and we figured we need some more performance for the final. Looks like it paid off. It was a good guess.
Congratulations, U.S. Nationals champion.
Excellent. My dream come true.
And by his dream coming true, Jerry Ekman also takes over the point lead in the Winston Pro Stock Championship.
Buster Couch is saying, guys, let's get staged up here. Have you noticed we can start to see the stars, huh?
Well, at least we'll be able to see Ekman's car. It's bright yellow. Alderman's, well, he's red and white, going to blend into the crowd here, the landscape. This is really starting to get real dark. Here we go. We're ready. Pro Stock Final.
RPM's up. This is for all the money in the Winston Point. It's a great start. It's a great race. And it belongs to Jerry Ekman. 7:32 to a 7:35, even though Alderman maybe got away first. We'll look at the replay in a bit. But it's Ekman going to the winner's circle for the second consecutive NHRA national event.
Alderman, in fact, did get away first. He took a nice starting line advantage, and it looked like if he had maintained the performance that we'd seen earlier, he would have been an easy winner. But something happened right about here in the race course, and Alderman's car fell off just a little bit. And that's all that Ekman needed to put his car out in front. They both ran the same speed, 186 miles an hour. But that little distance that Ekman picked up allowed him to win the race by inches.
Jerry Ekman saying, did I win that? I tell you what, Steve, that had to be close. Continue the thought.
It was close, huh?
Oh, boy, you don't know.
No, I don't.
We wouldn't be here if you didn't win.
Oh, great. What can I say, Steve? This makes 2 in a row. Like I said before here, there's a lane on each side of the track, and we got one of them, and I guess it was good enough to get down the track. I got to thank my sponsors, Pennzoil and Pontiac. John Waldy at Stratford Motor Products is our home track here in Canada. I'm excited.
Car owner Bill Orndorff's pretty excited, too, and all 13 of those shirts.
Yeah, I got to say hello to Bill and thank him for all his good decisions. Dale Ike, Tom Levitt, and the whole group. What can I say?
All your life, you've dreamed of a season like this. Do you have to pinch yourself every once in a while?
Well, I guess I'm just lucky, Steve. I guess I'm just lucky.
Yeah, good.
Well, I guess that comes with it. Luck is something that you make for yourself, I guess, and it looks like we've worked hard enough to get it, so here we are.
And the team in the near lane, Jerry Ekman, car owner Bill Orndorff, have had an extra strain on them. A very good friend, a fine crewman, passed away the morning of this race. It was Jonna Orndorff's brother, so I'm sure Ekman, more than anything else, would like to win it just in his memory. But he's got a tough competitor. Bruce Allen, an old General Motors vinyl, Pontiac versus Chevrolet Beretta. Perfect start, dead even. Photo finish. It is Ekman. Identical elapsed times, identical speeds.
Identical times, identical speeds. Well, then how do you determine who wins, Don?
Well, it wasn't quite identical. There was a 1/1000th difference between these two cars, so Ekman needed that starting line advantage to make the determination. The car did have a tiny bit more performance than Allen, but not really hardly enough to win the race. But in a race that's as close as this, it takes those photo finish lights to make the determination.
So when we carry it out, yet another digit, Jerry Ekman, 7.338. Bruce Allen, 7.339. Bill Orndorff and his wife sharing a difficult day together. The death of her brother this morning and then the victory in the race. Now Steve is with Jerry Ekman.
Absolutely one of the finest Pro Stock final rounds we have ever witnessed, and here's the victor.
Oh, thanks, Steve. First of all, I got to say I want to dedicate this race to Jimmy Watson, who passed away this morning. One of our big fans, Bill's wife's brother.
Did you know you'd won?
I knew I won. I knew it was close. I could see Bruce with me all the way, but when we started getting into high gear, I saw it coming, and I thought, here it is. And I'm so grateful that Pennzoil and Pontiac both had the confidence to stick with us through our lean times, because we're winners now. We're here.
Yeah. I'll second that. Everybody down here will.
Okay, Morgan and Alderman set to go. Big Daddy, you got to look to Morgan. This automobile beautifully prepared, and he's run really well for the last few races.
You can't count Alderman out. He's a real good lever. And remember, he powered by Glidden in the middle of the course.
That's right. He absolutely out-muscled Bob Glidden, and few have done that. Just about ready. The Pro Stock final. Finally, Morgan inches in. It's Alderman away first. Alderman with 300s in the bank. Not enough. Larry Morgan at 7:27 has won the Pro Stock final.
His crew celebrates, his wife, the baby, everybody very happy here at Memphis. Alderman at 7:30. Both ran 1:89. What a classic final, Don.
Well, this is why the fans love Pro Stock. They don't crackle and pop like Fuelers, but they make up for it in that side-by-side racing. Alderman almost put enough in the bank at the starting line to win the race, but just by inches loses. What a race.
Larry, I'm so happy Morgan has won the Mid-South Nationals in fine fashion at a 7:27.
Thank God. Man, am I happy. I couldn't be any happier. This, let me tell you something, Steve. You know, the last one was for Pinellas, but my wife and little boy got to come to this, and I couldn't be any happier. I have to thank Castro Oldsmobile, Jim Oliver, my engine builder, Andy Magnuson, my head porter, Gary Pearman, Tom Roberts, everybody around, all my sponsors. Thank God for this, and I'm happy.
Which was your favorite 7 Dwarf?
I don't want to say.
Happy would be my guess.
Happy. Thanks a lot, Steve.